Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's Sunshine Lorena and I'm going to be taking you through some anticipated new releases. So as I'm filming this is still March. This will probably be out early April, but I'm going to do another kind of quarter releases. So I already did January to March and now I'm going to do April to June, all my anticipated releases. I have about 10 on my list here to go through. I feel like there's a pretty good split between romances and thrillers. In terms of like spring, summertime, I always lean more towards romances, and it seems that the publishing industry likes to kind of put out a lot of romances like in springtime, probably ready for like the summer season and people's holidays, etc. But yes, I'm going to be taking you through them. There's quite a few like bigger kind of names on this one this quarter, so looking forward to that. And yes, let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with like my top of the list kind of anticipated ones and then work my way down. Obviously I want to read all of these anyway, but I think this time I'm gonna just switch it up and gonna just go with those that I really like. I'm gonna start with the ones that I want to read the most and work my way down. So the first one on this list is Yellowface by Arif Kwan. So I love Arif Kwan's writing. I read the Poppy War trilogy last year. I have Babel on my shelves, which I don't think you can quite see up there. I still have to read it as I'm speaking. This is on my March TBR and I will hopefully get it done, guys. And I will. But I really like her writing. And I saw that this one is coming out, but it's not fantasy. But I am really intrigued by the synopsis. It sounds like it's gonna be really interesting and fun. I really like the cover as well. Like it's a good play with the title as well. But this is like more like kind of literary thriller, I believe, like fiction, literary thriller. So definitely moving away from the fantasy writing that she's known. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to like kind of read something that she in a genre that she doesn't normally write in. In this one, Athena Liu is a literary darling and June Hayward is literally nobody. White lies. When Athena dies in a freak accident, June steals her unpublished manuscript and publishes it as her own under the ambiguous name Juniper Son. As evidence threatens June's stolen success, she will discover exactly how far she'll go to keep what she thinks she deserves. What happens next is entirely everyone else's fault. So yes, it's a great synopsis. It leaves lots of intrigue. I love that it's short and snappy, and I think I'm really going to enjoy this one. It's on NetGalley. Actually, I forgot to mention this. I had to like restrain myself when I was looking these up not to request them because I have a little bit of a backlog. I'm normally like really on top of my arcs, and to be honest with you, I still don't have a huge list compared to other people. However, I just don't like being disorganized. I have a couple arcs that I have on the go at the moment, hopefully which I'm going to be finishing and writing reviews, and then I can start like, you know, requesting some more of these anticipated ones, and hopefully I'll get approved. So Yellowface is going to be coming out in May, and it's going to be on the 25th of May. And yeah, I cannot wait. My next kind of a big anticipated one is coming out in June on the 13th, and that is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. And yeah, she is the author of The Love Hypothesis, which I read some months ago. I have it on my shelf. I really enjoyed it. I still need to read Love in the Brain, but I just really enjoy her books. I like how she always features women in STEM, and well, she is herself a woman in STEM, so I love that element that we're bringing romance into that kind of setting, and also like showcasing women in STEM by someone who actually is a woman in STEM, so she really kind of knows how to write those characters. But yes, like I said, I saw it instant. Yeah, I want to read this when it comes out, and again, it's one that I want to request once I review those other ones. In case you didn't guess, this is obviously a romance, if you didn't know. And yes, really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis. And this one, it features rival physicists collide in a vortex of academic feuds and fake dating shenanigans in this delightfully STEMinist rom-com is what it says. A lot of fake dating and feuds, and oh, amazing. So the many lives of theoretical physicist Elsie Hanaway have finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in the hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elsie makes up for her own non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whichever version of herself the client needs. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet gig, until a carefully constructed Elsie-verse comes crashing down, because Jack Smith, the annoyingly attractive and arrogant older brother of her favourite client, turns out to be the cold-hearted experimental physicist who ruined her mother's career and undermined the reputation of theorists everywhere. And he's the same Jack Smith who rules over the physics department at MIT my teen. Standing right between Elsie and her dream job. Elsie is prepared for an all-out war of scullery sabotage, but these long penetrating looks, not having to be anything other than her true self for when she's with him, will falling into experimentalist orbit finally tempt her to put her most graduate theories on love into practice. Yes, it sounds amazing. Love the fact that we get fake dating, that she has this like kind of double size to her. Obviously a bit of enemies to lovers there, which, you know, I love. It's one of my favourite tropes in a romance, and I just cannot wait for this one. June cannot come soon enough. The next one that I am highly anticipating is Happy Place by Emily Henry, and this is coming out on the 27th of April. So I read Beach Read by Emily Henry the other year. I still have her other ones to read, but I really liked her style of writing, and I know that she's hugely popular, and she kind of tends to land on like the Goodreads lists for like romance. So yes, I'm looking forward to this one, excited. Another romance that honestly is probably going to give me like really good vacation, like holiday vibes. In her latest one, Happy Place, 2 exes, 1 pact, could this holiday change everything? Harriet and Wine are the perfect couple. They go together like bread and butter, gin and tonic, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Except now they don't. They've broken up 6 months ago and they still haven't told anyone, which is how they end up sharing a bedroom at the cottage that's been their yearly getaway with their best friends for the past decade. For one glorious week, they leave behind their lives, drink far too much wine and soak up the sea air with their favourite people. Only this year, Harriet and Wine are lying through their teeth. The cottage is for sale, so this is the last time they'll have to all be together here, and they can't bear to break their friends' hearts. So they'll fake it for 1 more week. It's a flawless plan if you look at it through a pair of sunscreen smeared sunglasses. But how can you pretend to be in love with someone and get away with it in front of the people you know, the people who know you best? Yeah, so it sounds really intriguing. I love how it's kind of a bit of, again, fake dating. Do enjoy that trope. What I assume is going to be like a second chance romance here. But yes, it sounds really fun. And I can't wait to get to it. So the next one on this list is Hotel 21 by Senta Rich, and it's coming out on the 27th of April as well. It's listed kind of, it's fiction. Other places I've seen it listed as humorous fiction. I believe this is a debut novel as well. But the synopsis sounds so good. Also, I did kind of look at some of the early reviews, and people are like saying like, oh, it reminds them of Eleanor of Elephant is Completely Fine, and I really enjoyed that book. So I've got a feeling like there may be some funny elements in this book, but maybe it will touch on a few more serious topics. We need to wait and see. But the synopsis, I read it and I was like, yes, please, thank you. Like, I need to read that. So this follows Noelle, who is an efficient and friendly hotel cleaner, a model employee, or she'd have you think that. The trouble is that she can't help taking a little souvenir every time she cleans. Nothing of value, of course, just tokens of happy, normal lives, a lipstick, a hair clip, some tweezers, and by the time the guest has noticed, she's long gone. As she starts her 21st hotel, she's determined to beat her record of 1 month in a 5-star hotel before suspicions falls on her. But when she meets her new colleagues, her plans are complicated. These women aren't just hands pushing carts down lonely hotel corridors. They are women with lives full of happiness and worry, pain and joy. The kind of lives Noelle has never known how to live. They make her wonder what it might be like to have real friends, people to stick around for. Will the women at Hotel 21 give her the courage to claim the life she deserves, or will her old habits come back to haunt her? So yes, it sounds really intriguing. Like, I find it funny how she has been through so many hotels. Like, I feel like there must be a reason for her taking these souvenirs, and there must be something else going on in her life. But it sounds really good, and honestly, I just can't wait to get to this. I like the cover here as well, and I'm really looking forward to it, so I will request it and hopefully it will be approved. We will have to wait and see if that happens. Okay, so at this point it's getting kind of hard to list them now in like kind of order, so I'm just gonna go with it, because like those other ones were like really highly anticipated kind of in that order, but now I feel kind of equally anticipating these ones that I'm gonna list now. So the next one is also the 27th of April. It seems to be the day to release a book. This one is actually a thriller, and it is Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. And again, the synopsis of this one sounds really good. I am intrigued. So in this one we have Roach, a bookseller, loner and true crime obsessive. And Roach is not interested in making friends. She has all the company she needs in her serial killer books, murder podcast and her pet snail Bully. That is until Laura joins the bookshop. Smelling of roses, with her cute literary tote bags and beautiful poetry, she's everyone's new favourite bookseller. But beneath the shiny veneer, Roach senses senses a darkness within Laura, the same darkness that Roach possesses. As Roach's curiosity blooms into morbid obsession, it becomes clear that she's prepared to infiltrate Laura's life at any cost. So yes, super intrigued. I love the fact that this is quite clearly going to be taking place in a bookshop. I love when books are featured in books, but it sounds really interesting. And I've not been reading that much thrillers recently, so this sounds really fun. I want to get me back into my thrillers. So the next one is also a thriller on this list, and that is Don't Look Back by Jo Spain, and it's coming out on the 11th of May. Very kind of summery, like holiday cover. So I love kind of when it comes into like the warmer months that you get the more summery thrillers. I haven't read as many summery thrillers, and I'm trying to kind of pick them up a little bit more because I do get the more winter ones. I do enjoy a good summer one. So this one, Your Dream Island, the love of your life, a secret that changes everything. So for 1 week, everything in Luke Miller's life is perfect. Surprised with a belated honeymoon by his wife, Rose, he's had 7 days with her in the Caribbean paradise. It's more than he ever thought he'd deserve. But as they pack their bags, Rose breaks down, confessing that on the day they left London, a violent man from her past tracked her down and broke into their home. He wasn't expecting her to fight back, and in her terror, Rose killed him. Now there's a dead body in Luke's apartment, and only one person he can think to turn to. Mickey Schnells never expected to hear from Luke again, not after he disappeared the first time. Luke knows Mickey can't deny a woman who needs help, so she promises she'll deal with things. She'll make sure Rose doesn't have to keep running, but turns out some lies are too big to run from. So yeah, sounds really fun. Obviously summer cover. It's gonna be interesting to see how this kind of pans out. Are they gonna be like kind of staying in the Caribbean while like this person is trying to like sort out the murder that occurred that they done at their flat? So it's gonna be really interesting. It sounds really fun. Like I said, need to read a little bit more of those summer thrillers to switch things up. So the next up is another romance, and that is The Matchmaker by Catherine Walsh, and this is coming out on the 18th of April. I'm going to take you through the synopsis in a second, but what I liked when I read this one is like small town rom-com vibes, and I just feel like I haven't read like a small town romance in like so long, and they're always super cute as well. So that's what caught my eye when I saw this one. So Katie Collins has barely left her tiny Irish village. Why would she? With its tight-knit community, friendly local pub, surrounded by glistening lakes and perfectly mysterious forests, it's a place of peaceful beauty. Or it was peaceful. Until Callum Dempsey turned up. Part of a hot shot, and Katie has to admit it, hot is annoyingly apt for him, a development team with zero eye for beauty or charm. He's not only building a hideous hotel just outside the village, he also just announced a plan to knock down the village's only remaining pub to make way for a view for the golf course. It's the final blow to the village and the last straw for Katie, who refuses to let her home from home disappear. The pub is her life, her job, but also her last connection to her parents, who met was once famous matchmaking festival that was held in the grounds. But after being laughed off the building site in her best flannel pajamas for demanding the builders leave, Katie decides enough is enough and hatches a plan. She's going to revive the matchmaking festival, save the pub, and single-handedly bring the town back to life again. She might even help her two best friends find love as well, since heck, what's another project when you're taking on the world's hottest evil man? But what Ireland's newest matchmaker doesn't know is that even when somebody's really not your type on paper, love might be a little bit more than just a formula. So yes, it sounds like it's going to be like funny. Obviously you're going to have romance again, giving me a little bit of enemies to lovers vibes. And it sounds really good. I can't remember if I've ever read a rom-com set in Ireland. And in general, it's not really a location that romance books tend to be set in unless it's like a bit more like historically kind of vibes. But yes, looking forward to this one. It sounds like it's going to be funny as well. So next on my list is a bit of a cozy mystery, and that is hashtag Tag Me for Murder by Sarah E. Burr. This is coming out on the 25th of April. So this is the second book in the series. I read the first book last year when it came out, and it's just like a cute cozy mystery series, and I just love a good cozy when I find them. I feel like they're really nice and light and break up kind of those kind of thrillers that I tend to lean towards. So in this one we have our main character Coco Klein, who is a social media influencer. It's like, again, small time vibes because like a cozy mystery obviously. and this is picking up after she has solved the first case that she had, which was the first book, and her life is just kind of getting back to normal, or at least normal as life can be with 3 million followers online. She has a thriving business, a devoted boyfriend, and her 2 best friends living right up the street. Coco is set to have the most fun summer of her life until Larry and Rosalind Dummer move into the condo next door. Coco and her friends do their best to avoid the confrontational duo, but when a party at a swanky new wine bar brings everyone together, things become less than neighbourly faster than a celebrity-themed hashtag goes viral. Larry levels some of super shady threats towards Coco and her BFF Jasper, which could have dire consequences for their multimedia empires. Just as Coco begins to wonder if she'll have to spend the rest of her summer looking over her shoulder, she gets a shocking request from the police. As part of her PR gig with the Crystal Shores PD, they need her to come to the beach and keep the public at bay. Body has washed ashore. Thinking a person were drowned just before this Salute to Summer festival kicks off, Coco arrives to find Larry Dummer dead with a corkscrew sticking out his neck. What's even more unbelievable is that Jasper quickly shoots to the top of the Chief McInnes's suspects list. In full-on panic mode, Coco decides to use her tech-savvy sleuthing skills to clear her best friend's name before his rep is ruined. Soon as she discovers that Larry made quite a few enemies during his very short stay in town, but who hated him enough to kill him. Sounds like it's been really good. Like I said, it's cozy mystery vibes, and sometimes you just need it to break up those dark thrillers. So the second last book on my list is another romance, and it's The Summer Skies by Jenny Colgan, and it's coming out on the 8th of June. So I read one Jenny Colgan book before, and it was The Christmas at the Island Christmas. I know she's done 2, but I read like the first one. Which was kind of middle of a series, but I kind of picked up quite quickly and kind of got to know the characters. It was on a remote kind of Scottish island. This one also involves a remote Scottish island. It's not like the same cast of characters from The Island Christmas or Christmas at the Island. I can't remember which way it went round, but I did really enjoy her writing. She did touch on topics that, even though it was romance, she did touch on a few kind of more serious topics in a very good way. So that's why I kind of, when I saw this, read the synopsis, I was like, yeah, but I should really read another book of hers. So this one, our main character is Morag, and she's from a family of successful pilots. So she is used to flying high, but when a tragic accident above the clouds grounds her, could the future she's always imagined be suddenly out of reach? When she receives a call telling her that her beloved grandfather has been taken ill, Morag leaves her fast-paced life in London to return home to the tranquil Scottish Highlands. With her grandfather out of action, Morag has no choice but to take over flying the local route in his rickety old plane, ferrying locals across the beautiful islands of the archipelago. But as the weather takes a dramatic turn, Morag is forced to crash land on a remote island and suddenly finds herself far from civilization and all alone. Then she discovers Gregor, the gruff and reclusive ornithologist, I don't know how to pronounce that, taking care of the island for the season. Though the pair don't seem to see eye to eye, Morag is forced to seek shelter at his cabin, and it seems the pair are stuck together until help arrives, however long that may be. As she awaits the rescue, Morag discover that a remote Scottish island cut off from the real life is exactly the place she needs to be. So yes, I love the sound about it. I love when you're like, I love a book that has like a closed setting, whether that's romance or thriller, and it sounds like they're not going to get on too much, and I love the idea that they're gonna be stuck there and a remote island, obviously cut off from like everything, just to kind of see what happens between these two. And the last but not certainly least book on my list is The Summer Skies by Emily Barr, and this one is coming out on the 8th of June as well. This is a thriller, and again a very summery cover, giving me holiday thriller vibes, and this one is actually set in summer. So one hot summer, first love, so many buried secrets. Senara has never been in love before. She's not done anything exciting before, always a sidekick, until the summer that changes everything. Cliff House is closed off for most of the year until its rich Londoner owners come down to Cornwall for the summer. This year, despite herself, Serena finds herself pulled into this world of wealth and ease, sunbathing and beautiful people. She even finds herself falling in love for the first time. The Cliff House and its owners are hiding things. They've been hiding things for too long, and now, despite all their efforts, their secrets are coming out. Secrets involve Serena's friends and her family in a way that she could never have imagined. Lies from the past have been buried for years, and now they're being dug up. And then also it's got a comparison, a bold new story for fans of We Are Liars, which I've not read, but again, the cover kind of gives me that kind of vibes. So it sounds really good, intriguing. I like that again. I like the kind of summer vibes to it. Obviously it's down in Cornwall. I assume it's going to be a more kind of small town kind of vibes, because just based on the setting, and it's going to be interesting to see what all those secrets are. Yes, it's kind of, and it's good to kind of see a synopsis that doesn't involve a murder in a thriller, and yeah, I think it's going to be really intriguing. So that's it. That is all of the books I'm anticipating between April and June. Obviously there are far more being released, but these are the ones that really stood out to me. Let me know if you're planning on reading any of these, which one is your most anticipated. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye! Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel, and I'm going to be taking you... why I am... So in this one, why I'm dropping stuff. So